Happening today, a push to stop robocalls in Arkansas will become part of state law. Governor Asa Hutchinson will sign legislation today. Isabella Moeller joins us live now to talk more about this new bill. Isabella.
I would like to say that we're all pretty excited about this if we can get rid of some of the robocalls that we get throughout the day. The Attorney General's office has said that they're very firm and they want to get rid of these, but they're very hard to prosecute. So this bill that the governor is expected to sign will help. What this legislation does is it creates a process for state oversight of telecommunication providers. So that means that companies would have more responsibility and be more encouraged to use technology to stop those robocalls from ever going through. This would also increase the penalty for spoofing, so that's when you see any number that may have an in-state area code but really just a trick to get you to answer the phone. So instead of a misdemeanor, now it would be a felony, and that's up to 6 years in prison, then a fine of $10,000. The Attorney General, as I said, has taken a firm stance on this. Last year, she joined 40 other states to come up with a way to get phone service providers to protect people from these illegal robocalls. And she has said that even though this will not immediately fix the problem, it's a step in the right direction. At the Capitol, Isabella Moeller, back to you.
All right, thanks, Isabella. Also heading to the governor's desk, a bill to keep the state's Medicaid expansion for another year. The bill to fund Medicaid and the expansion program, Arkansas Works, received just enough votes yesterday. It failed to clear the 75 vote threshold on Friday. Now, all of this comes days after the program appeared in limbo after a federal judge's decision to block the work requirement. Governor Hutchinson has urged the federal government to appeal the judge's decision.
Green space will be a much better.
Hey, time out. Just don't let him fall.
Little Rock City Director Ken Richardson had a serious medical issue at last night's board meeting. The meeting was put on hold until he could be taken to the hospital. It's not known exactly what happened just yet. Little Rock's mayor wants body cameras and additional officers at a time. The police department will be forced to purchase police radios. Mayor Frank Scott Jr. wants to hire 100 additional officers in the next 4 years. Mayor Scott says the 2019 budget has already been approved, but he'll ask the board to amend it to bring on an extra 20 officers this year, which could cost under $1 million in salary, not including an officer's benefits, gun, or other equipment.
I'm willing to make certain that we adjust the current city budget to reflect the priorities of this city, and public safety is number one.
We don't know where the adjustments will come from yet. These additions come at a time when the mayor says the board will have to approve taking out a short-term note to help pay and replace police and fire radios. That will cost more than $4 million over the next 3 years. In Hot Spring County, Malvern's mayor says the police department has outgrown its current home and needs a new one. The current location is a shared building with the Hot Spring County Sheriff's Office on Highland Avenue. They recently brainstormed a few ideas at a public discussion, but so far they haven't figured out where to move it.
New this morning, not one but two Sherwood homes damaged after being hit by a car. It happened just before 8 last night. Sherwood fire officials say the driver told them they fell asleep. Fortunately, there were not any injuries. Still no arrest this morning after a Monday shooting at a Benton park. Police say the victim was a 20-year-old man. He was shot at Ralph Bunch Park and is expected to be okay.
The young boy who was escorted by first responders to Children's Hospital in February may be coming home and changing his medical course of action. Louis' mom, Christy Schneider, says her son has defied death 3 times, and they are now seeking treatment at the Mayo Clinic. It will take a few days to schedule outpatient treatment appointments, so he will be at home on hospice care in the interim. The family thanks everyone following his journey and are grateful for the extra days they've been able to spend with Louis.